Welcome to the Jeep Halftime Report.
Entertaining first half here in Madison Square Garden at the Jimmy V Classic. Second of two games, Duke with a 41-31 lead at the break. You know, on this night, when we bring awareness to the V Foundation for Cancer Research, we remember so many people who have aided in the fight against cancer. Dick Vitale has been a tireless worker, particularly in the area of raising money for pediatric cancer research.
I'm so honored to get a moment here to share some thoughts I have about pediatric cancer. I'm obsessed with it. I'm in the last chapter of my life, and I want to be able to raise as many dollars as possible. Why? Only 4 cents of every dollar raised for cancer research goes to pediatrics. That's a sin, a flat-out sin. Well, we've established now, in memory of my buddy John Saunders, who lost his life on August 10th. You talk about a great humanitarian. We know he was a super broadcaster, Mr. Versatility. He could do whether sports reporters to host, whether it be college football, college basketball. John was right there with an A-plus performance. But now I know John would be very proud to know that we're raising money in his name and in his memory. Please make a donation. We need it. We need those dollars to help kids. You can donate at jimmyv.org/Saunders. jimmyv.org/Saunders. I think about the beautiful people on the board of directors, how hard they work. I think about Steve Bornstein. I think as our CEO does a great job in leading the board. I think of members like Mike Krzyzewski. I think about people like Harry Rhodes, CEO of the Washington Speakers Bureau. I think about George Bodenheimer, the former leader of ESPN. They can't do enough, as all the members can. I think about Susan Braun, the head of the V Foundation. And I think about her staff, dedicated beyond belief. I think about the youngsters over the years that I met at my gala. My gala has raised $18.2 million for pediatric cancer. That's not nearly enough. That's needed. 1 out of every 5 youngsters that will come down with cancer will not make it. That's sad in a way, breaks my heart. 15,000 youngsters this year will be diagnosed, and their parents will hear that dreaded word, your child has cancer. I beg you, we need dollars. I think about Joshua Fisher. You want to talk about courage? This 9-year-old, unbelievable. He battled acute lymphoblastic leukemia. He did 1,200 doses of chemo. He was at my gala last year, and it was terrific to see the way he was greeted by Jim Harbaugh, by Urban Meyer, having a great time with both coaches. Yes, coaches that took their time to help us raise dollars for cancer. Joshua today is cancer-free. I think about Najari Jackson, had vocal cord surgery at age 5. Can't do enough in the Tampa area to help other kids. He was honored at the White House, where he met President Obama as a Boy Scout because he's done such wonders and so decorated as a Boy Scout. I think about a youngster I met this September. It was unbelievable. I joined the great Buster Posey, and I say great, special as can be. We know he's a superstar baseball player, but his wife, Kristen, and Buster can't do enough to help kids battle cancer. And he introduced me to a youngster, Cannon Wiggins. Cannon Wiggins became, along with his family, friends of the Poseys. They asked me to join them to raise money in the San Francisco area. And then one night, because of the help of the Giants and the great work of Kristen and Buster, we raised $600,000. But I met this youngster, Cannon. Talk about courageous. His dad and mom told the story at the event we had, how they had to sign a waiver, understanding there might be side effects for what they have to do to battle his cancer, neuroblastoma. Yes, he battled. What about this? Think about this. Think about going through this. Watching your child do 108 hours. That's 4 days. 108 hours, 4 days plus, doing chemotherapy through intravenous, laying in bed. Well, there were side effects. He lost his hearing. All his teeth rotted. Unbelievable what these parents have to go through. No parent should have to go through that pain and that suffering. Man, if you're lucky and you're blessed and you got a healthy child, I ask you from the bottom of my heart, please pick up the phone. Call 1-800-4-JIMMY-V. Make a donation. You can be specific and you can tell them I want it for pediatrics. But please make a donation. 1-800-4-JIMMY-V. We must fight this disease. We must not let it take our children from us. There's nothing more precious than a young child. A young child going out playing baseball, playing basketball, playing football, playing tennis, doing music, dance, whatever, not laying in bed doing chemotherapy. I thank you so much for sharing this time with me. But again, in closing, I beg you, please pick up that phone and call 1-800-4-JIMMY-V.